Some stories begin with love, some begin with adventure. This one begins with a warning. Beyond the farmlands of Umuna village, where cassava fields end and thick forest begins, there stands an abandoned royal palace. No one lives there. Yet every night, the lanterns inside its walls burn with steady light. The palace doors remain open. The stone courtyard is always clean. And sometimes, after midnight, a sound travels through the forest. Not the cry of a lion, not the voice of a human. A roar that sounds like both. The villagers avoid the place completely. Hunters refuse to track animals near it. Children are forbidden from walking close to the forest path because many years ago, a few travelers made the mistake of entering that palace. Those who returned described the same terrifying sight. A creature, tall as a warrior, shoulders wider than the palace doorway, eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. And although its shape resembled a beast, something about the way it moved suggested something far more disturbing. It walked like a man. From that day forward, the villagers gave the palace a name, the Beast's Palace. For years, no one dared approach it, until the day curiosity led one family too close to the forest. In Umona village lived a young woman named Amaka. Amaka listened carefully whenever elders told stories. While other children ran away from tales of spirits, abandoned shrines, or cursed places, Amaka stayed close and asked questions. How did the curse begin? Who built the palace? Why would a monster keep lanterns burning every night? The elders rarely answered. Most of them ended their stories with the same warning. Some questions should not be asked. But Amaka disagreed. She believed every frightening story carried a piece of truth waiting to be discovered. Her father, Okiki, earned his living as a traveling trader. He carved wooden sculptures and sold them in nearby villages and markets. Before every journey, he asked Amaka the same question. What gift should I bring when I return? One evening, she gave him an unusual answer. Bring me something rare. Okeke smiled. What kind of rare? Something from a place people are afraid to go. Okeke laughed at the strange request, but that request would soon lead him to the one place every villager feared. 2 days later, Okeke began his journey home. The sky remained bright when he entered the forest path that cut through Odu Forest. He had used the trail many times before, but halfway through the forest, the weather changed suddenly. The wind rose without warning. Dark clouds swallowed the sky. Thunder rolled across the forest canopy. Then, heavy rain poured down. Within minutes, the narrow path disappeared under mud and fallen leaves. Okeke tried to follow the direction he remembered, but the forest twisted around him. One path led to another unfamiliar trail. Trees blocked his view in every direction. Hours passed as he searched for the road. Then, through the curtain of rain, he saw something. A massive stone gate, tall iron doors, broken pillars rising from the ground like ancient bones. And beside the gate, 2 lanterns burning steadily. Okeke stared in disbelief. He had crossed this forest many times during his trading journeys. He had never seen a palace here before, but the rain grew heavier. With no other shelter nearby, he pushed the gate open and stepped inside. The courtyard looked strangely maintained. The ground was swept clean. The stone steps were polished smooth. No weeds grew between the cracks. Yet, there were no guards, no servants, no voices. The silence made the air feel heavy. Okeke walked cautiously into the main hall. Inside, he found something even stranger. A large table stood in the center of the room. Fresh food rested on golden plates. Steam rose gently from the dishes. Someone had prepared the meal recently, but no one appeared. Okeke hesitated. The rain outside continued pouring. His stomach tightened with hunger after hours in the forest. Perhaps the owner stepped outside, he muttered. He sat at the table and he ate. When he finished the final bite, the sound came. Footsteps. Slow, heavy. Each step echoed through the stone hall. The floor trembled beneath the weight. Okeke's body froze.
The footsteps stopped behind him. A deep voice filled the room. "Who allowed you into my palace?" Okeke turned slowly. The plate slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. Standing in the shadows was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. Its height nearly touched the carved beams above. Dark fur covered his arms and shoulders. Long claws curved from his hands. Its face resembled a wild animal. Yet something about the way it moved suggested something far more disturbing. It walked like a man.